A lot of people kept being like, you look really good, you look good.
Oh. Well, okay, maybe not. Maybe I was getting too many of those comments and I was like, okay, I'll just keep sitting here. And meanwhile, I gained like almost 60 pounds.
And I only gained like 30. So, you know, I gained 30 pounds, I think, because I was working out.
Susan's so perfect.
This is Susan Yara.
And this is Sharzad Kiadeh.
Some call this the Sharzad and Susan Show.
Or the Susan and Sharzad Show.
We just call it
the SASS. Sharzad.
Yes, Susan?
What comes to mind when I say recap?
Ooh, we're gonna tell you about all our favorite treatments. You know, so much of the time we don't really get to tell you how our experience was long term. And because then we would just never be able to get a video up.
You'd never see any videos because we'd be waiting like 3 to 6 months to see what the final results are.
But guess what? Today we're gonna do that. We got a recap for you. Woohoo!
By the way, guys, this recap could get pretty long because there's like 19 episodes or something like that. Like, there's a lot. So what we're gonna do for you is we're going to put in the description box below the time codes of each different episode that we address. That way, if you're only interested in 1 or 2 different things and our thoughts of it, guess what? You can just fast forward right to it, okay? Okay, so the first thing we're gonna address.
We see this in the comments all the time. Are we gonna change our title sequence where we,
our intro,
you know, dance around and just
this
call
is the
it
Susan and Sharzad Show?
The SASS.
The SASS, yeah. Should we change it? I mean, there are some people that consistently say they hate it, and then we see like the like button going up.
Right, and then we think, okay, well,
should we change it?
It is a little old, you know, our hair, we're both
we look
different
color
hair now, obviously.
Yep.
But you know, it's fun. I don't know. I
think I'm nostalgic about it, about holding on to it. But
I mean, we can refresh it a bit if you guys want to. I don't know. Let us know.
So
it seems to anger quite a few people.
Yeah, it really does. It does. You know how we're gonna make this easy for everyone?
How, Susan?
We are going to put a poll right here. If you guys click right there, you will see there's a poll. Change it or not change it. We will do what wins.
Yes.
The float tanks, you guys, it's been a while.
It has been so long. We were both Prego 210 when we did that, so I feel like it was just like such a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I do remember like it getting into my eyes and burning a little bit, so I remember having to be like really careful about that. I haven't done it since, but I'm just more, I mean, my number one thing to try and do these days is sleep. So
yeah, same.
It's not because I don't love it. I'm tired.
You know, I've had it on my list to go back. So I actually did really enjoy it.
I enjoyed it. And you weren't thinking that you would.
I was scared. I was scared I was going to be so claustrophobic and it was going to freak me out. But you know, at the end of the day, it felt like it wasn't very closed off and very scary at all. And I liked it a lot, to the point where, yeah, I've been trying to go back. I just, you know, between work, a baby, and no sleep, you know, it's you
hard
know, mom
to add
life.
The fun stuff.
Yeah. But one day, I plan on going back.
Yes. The next one that we're gonna recap is when we got that like mega hair conditioning treatment. I remember I was also preggers and my hair was a little bit shorter then, and I had just gotten like quite a bit of bleach on it, so my hair was like looking real electrocuted when I went in, and I noticed a major difference after that. Actually, now that I think about it, that is something I want to put on my list of to-dos like ASAP, because it's getting a little fried again, so I would do that one again.
Yeah.
And you had a question about whether or not, or like how you survive.
People were like, how do you only wash your hair once? Well, first off, guys, I did a video.
Oh,
you can go to that video. But yeah, so I only wash my hair once a week. That is why it's in a bun today, because hey, didn't have time to wash it or comb it. You know, I don't know. I have so much hair, you guys, that it's a blessing and a curse. So I find that it's easier for me to only wash my hair once a week. That way I don't have to, you know, focus so much of my time and energy on it. I have recently heard though that you can go too long without washing your hair. So apparently there's like a magic number. It's like the 2 to 3 day mark is when you should be washing your hair. So you shouldn't be washing it every day, but you shouldn't be going like a whole week, because that can actually dry your hair out too. So the conditioning treatment though, I actually did like it, but
you didn't notice like a drastic difference.
No, for me I didn't, but again, I have so much hair.
Again, I'm so sad for you, Susan.
Pregnancy yoga.
I want to go back so bad. I mean, obviously just as a regular yoga, because I ain't knocked up. Yoga, exercise, all the things. She was
Nicole
such
Shaka.
a wonderful teacher,
Yep.
and I follow her on Instagram,
Me too.
and she's just got such good vibes. She's a mama. She's the cutest little boy. Oh man, I want to go back so bad.
Yeah.
This whole recap is gonna remind me of all the things that I want to do, and I'm gonna make a little mental note, and then I'm gonna go back and do them when I can breathe again.
For sure. You know what I really loved about Nicole and that episode was I feel like, you know, when you're pregnant, a lot of fitness instructors don't really make that. They don't make that
The adjustments
those
for you and
adjustments
stuff.
for you, and it's really important. And I don't think you realize how important that is until you're in the middle of it, and you're like, I can't do that move, and nobody's helping you. So it was really nice to have someone who not only knew to tell us how to adjust, but she experienced it herself.
Right, she's a mama, so she was pregnant and knew exactly like what, you know, the body was going through. So yeah, she's great. Next episode, threading. I haven't gone back to that one, but people love it.
People do love threading. We had a lot of comments on that video where people said they thought it was expensive. It was
like $10.
$10.
Yeah.
So you guys, I don't know if there's like disparity between like where we live and
it
something
seems
like
like
that.
a very, very reasonably priced
I mean,
treatment.
you guys, these women have to live.
I mean,
they have to like make it in Los Angeles. So $10 did not seem like a lot to pay somebody to like spend, what, 15, 20 minutes with us?
Yeah, based on the comments, people enjoyed my facial expressions when I was like, it doesn't hurt. I'm a very animated person. It didn't hurt per se. It was tickly pinchy, but I wouldn't categorize that as like actual.
Well, you were trying to stop yourself from like laughing. Like,
and I was also like tearing and like, you know, laughing.
Yeah,
because
you know when like you tweeze something and like it makes you kind of tear up a little bit and stuff?
Exactly like that. I'm just thinking about this shot when I was making really weird faces. I think that clip ended up in another video also where people were talking about threading. So yeah.
It didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt though. So clip-in extensions, I am a big fan. I use them all the time, especially.
Do you have them in right now?
I do, especially when, you can't tell, can you?
Oh yeah,
especially since my hair is going through so many different things with like being pregnant, nursing, weaning off of nursing. Kelly Christine actually gave me a little bit more color. I really like her.
You went back, right? You've gone back to her.
I went back to her, so that is the person that I have gone back to. She is just a sweetheart. There was a couple people hating on her on the video.
You guys, she was sick.
Yeah, she was sick, and there was a comment about how she referred to like our hair. She was referring to like thin hair, like my hair and her hair just being like really fine, as opposed to Susan's hair, which the actual strands are thicker. So when she said our hair, that people kind of took that comment as like a racist comment.
It's like, calm down.
It was so not racist, and I even chimed in. I was like, hi, I was there. She's talking about my hair and her hair. Don't jump to any crazy like racist conclusions and look for a fight. She's a sweetheart.
She's so sweet.
And I have gone back to her.
You know another comment that was in that video?
What?
Everybody loved that lipstick shirt you were wearing.
I mean, it's like one of my most favorite shirts like on the planet. Every time I wear it, I'm in a good mood. It's Wild Fox. It's old. I just found it like on sale once upon a time at Nordy's, and I was like, score. It was still expensive because it's Wild Fox, but it makes me happy, and I've worn it so much.
It's made other people happy, apparently.
You know what? My kids go crazy for it too because it's so shiny.
Craniosacral Therapy.
That's when I got to bring my little baby. That was so cute.
Yeah.
He was so little.
He was so little at that one. Yeah. Well, okay, so I was still pregnant, wasn't I?
You were?
I
yeah,
was
you
still
were getting
pregnant.
close to the end, and I remember you really, really enjoyed that treatment.
I did.
Because it was like, it was so different.
It was gentle.
Really just like, kind of touched like just very gently, just a couple
You
little
could
parts of
feel
your body.
yourself like slightly adjusting. It was interesting. It was like, I don't know, I just liked it. It was gentle, it was interesting. A lot of people asked about the long-term benefits of it. I don't think we went enough, right?
Yeah.
I'd only gone twice. You went that one time for the video.
I did.
And she said, you know, you need to go back on a regular basis. I think upkeep is something that we're really bad about. I had every intention of going back to see her and getting a little bit more of the treatments done and everything, but I haven't had a chance to go over there, and I'll tell you why. It's because she's in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
So I'm not a West Sider, and I just I haven't had a chance to go to Santa Monica, which sounds crazy.
I know,
But-
it does. But then, you know, you pile on all the life stuff, and then it makes sense.
And
that
then it
you
makes
just,
complete
you
sense.
know.
But otherwise, I thought it was a really cool treatment.
She just had good vibes, good energy too, you know, somebody really cool.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So a lot of the comments were that she's in her early 70s, and people were just like blown away with how good she is. And I totally remember when we asked her, you know, what's your secret? And she goes, Eastern medicine. And I was like, man, that's such a testament to her work and her passion and excitement for what she does. And she obviously,
she's her own walking billboard.
Yes. So I think that's reason enough to go see her. Next up, Lash Lift. We got a lot of questions.
Lots of questions, lots of comments about the cost, which I want to address right away. I think that is a luxury cost. Like that is definitely something you're doing because you make enough money to go out and make the time for that. But I also want to point out that she comes to you, which is a big deal, you guys. Like, especially in a place like Los Angeles, it could take her an hour to come to somebody, right? To go to somebody's house, she sets up everything there, and then she takes that time out to do that lash lift on somebody. So it is, yes, it's a big cost. I do think it's a luxury. Am I getting it on a regular basis? I'm not. Somebody actually mentioned in a video, they were like, I think that Susan and Sharzad are always perming their lashes. And I just commented back like, I wish, right? I wish that we had the luxury to do that.
Yeah, it wasn't a treatment for me. It wasn't something that I would do, and luckily, I do have naturally lifted, curled lashes, so that's not something that I will probably ever incorporate. She also tinted our lashes, which again, my lashes are something that like don't really need a lot of work thanks to my Persian roots. They're dark and they curl, so that's not something I will do. But you know, again, we always want to show you guys the treatments that are available
out there.
Whether there's something we incorporate or not, you know, and this is what the recap is for, to let you know the things that we actually do or plan on doing again.
Or the long term, like what we felt and stuff. I definitely don't think I need to do it on a regular basis. I think my favorite part about it, just the way the effect of it when we saw it on our producer, Anna, was the tinting. I actually think the tinting is really cool if you are somebody like Anna who has like the light colored lashes, because that's something you and I don't deal with, right? But I saw her with that and it was interesting. I will say the regrowth at the first week of the lash lift was awesome. And then as it started to like grow out a little bit, I kind of was bummed out about it just because I wasn't gonna go do it again. But I think if it's one of those things, again, if you're gonna have the money to do it regularly and do the upkeep, you might really love it.
And you know, a lot of the people commented that that's one of their favorite beauty treatments of all. So, you know, for some people, it is like such a game changer. Again, if your lashes are lighter, if that's your thing,
or
you know,
don't have a curl to them, but you know, you might love that. But
for us personally, not something I will do again. Doesn't mean it's a bad treatment though. It just means for me, you know, it's not gonna happen again.
Biosculpture, the gel nail polish that was natural or good for you.
At Can Nail Parlor. Oh my gosh, cutest place ever. I would definitely go back. The only reason that I haven't gone back is because it's not in my neighborhood. And if you live in LA, you know that like you kind of just stay in your own hood for like little beauty treatments like that a lot of times. But I loved it so much. That was one of the cutest, most charming nail salons. Removing the gels was easy. My nails looked great after. Sometimes like when you get your gels off, especially if you're like me and you literally bite them off, which is terrible. But if you do that, like you can scrape off a ton of your actual nail. Those came off easily.
You know what? I was so impressed. I am not a fan of gel nail polish, and that was the first time where I was like, I could get gel nail polish on a regular basis. I didn't have, you can see like my nails are naturally long and strong, and usually I don't do gel nail polish because that messes them up.
Oh yeah.
So that did not do that. I actually was just very impressed. It lasted a long time. It was easy to remove. I recommend it. Reflexology.
Oh, I mean, I would die. I want to go back.
Augie.
I want to go back every day to him. He has magic hands, and I want them on my feet.
Yeah, I do
at
too.
all times.
I thought, you know, first of all, being that how tiny that place is, I thought it was really, really great. I was not expecting it to be so amazing as it was. I loved Augie. Somebody made a really rude comment saying that they didn't like him, and I thought he was great. You guys don't get to see that, you know, like when we first get to meet them and talk to them before we start rolling on the cameras and stuff. And he is the nicest, kindest soul. Like he is such a nice guy.
He's such a healer too. He really cares about the people he works on, and he really wants them to feel better. And yes, luxury for sure.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, because you're actually making that was an add-on, remember, to any of their other treatments. So if you go in there for a facial or if you go in there for a massage, you can add on the reflexology, and I recommend it if you do.
I wish I could do that on a regular basis.
Because it was so nice.
telling you, his hands are incredible.
Magic.
And he is the
I
nicest
did go,
person.
I went to him for a massage and...
Oh, I'm so just thinking about it right now. I'm like, oh, touch me again, Augie.
That's how she says it to him too. That's exactly what she does.
Touch me again.
Somebody mentioned in the comments, does Sharzad's feet smell? You guys, when I mentioned smelling
No.
Sharzad's feet, I meant that they smelled really good because they had that serum on them.
You know,
and I was like, wow, your feet smell delicious.
I have to say, I admit when I have faults, smelling feet is not one of my things.
No.
No, it's
I've
not.
never smelled Sharzad's feet, not in a
smell
bad
them
way.
right now. No, they smell like
They're great.
roses. Ear candling got so much hate.
So much hate.
I was really surprised by that.
I mean, okay, I get it. Because you know what, we really do try to find the best treatments, the best experts to do those treatments with. And a lot of people were like, I'm super surprised that you would do something that's kind of a gimmicky, treatment on the channel. And
but you know what? So many of you guys asked
for
to
it.
see that
Yes,
treatment
we
too.
were asked.
So
like more than once, we have been asked to show ear candling. So we were like,
yeah, so here it is. And then, a lot of people talked about how expensive it was, how it was just like a nothing thing, how the wax in our ear was just wax from the candle and not coming out of our ears.
And even you guys mentioned it was dangerous.
Right. But okay, so I genuinely did feel less stuffy after getting it done. So whatever happened, I don't know, but I did feel less stuffy, and I thought that that was a good sign, since if you guys can remember on that video, I was really congested that day, and I feel like you can hear it in my voice. I'm a lot less congested by the end of the video.
Yep.
Now, we're not getting paid to tell you that these things are great. This is just our natural reaction right after we get them done. So I did feel like that was a cool treatment. Have I gone back? No, but I haven't been stuffy and I haven't felt the need. But I remember going home that day and my husband was also stuffy. I was like, you should go do this. This woman got, wax out of my head and it felt a lot better. And he was thinking about it. He didn't end up going. But I it's interesting what some of you guys really pick on somebody and don't like them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And we meet them in person, and for the most part, I would say everybody's so nice
you know what?
and happy.
If we didn't like somebody, we wouldn't put them on our channel.
Absolutely not.
Whatsoever.
And again, I thought it was unique, and I enjoyed the whole experience.
I did too.
Yeah.
And you guys should see that place. You should really see it.
That's cool.
I think she's got a good thing going.
For sure. Face training. I thought this was such a fun episode because we also were in a silly mood. It's kind of just random to move your face around in those different sort of ways that she did.
First off, we both have we have to get our minds out of the gutter all the time, and you just can't help it when you're involving the mouth and doing weird things and stuff. So the whole time we didn't even put everything into that video.
Because it got a little raunchy because
really
I am a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, I am too. And so we just kept laughing, and we had so much fun with that episode.
We had so much fun, and she couldn't have been cuter and sweet. I mean, did you see her little cute body and her little cute face?
She was just adorable.
Yeah, so I wanted to put her in my pocket. I've been keeping up with my face training as much as possible because I'm noticing some things going on. So I do as much as I can, but I love it. I try and do it all the time.
Yeah, I have not kept up with my face training, but I do feel like I learned something from that. And that was, she trained herself to not scrunch her forehead, for instance.
The thing that's so fun about that episode is that you guys can do that anytime, anywhere, just by following along.
That was awesome.
Back wax.
Back wax. Let's talk about that. How did Michael feel?
Michael feels good. He was really expecting stubble because like I mentioned in that video, I had done some really shady hair removal on him when we were dating.
So explain that to us because you mentioned that in the video.
So it was one of those infomercial type products where it's this little sander that you swirl in circular motions, and it swirls I don't know how it does it, but it takes the hair off. And this is before we were married, so probably 7.5 years ago. And I ended up burning his back.
Of course, because that sounds like it's sandpaper.
It is sandpaper. And I was and of course, we were dating, so he wasn't gonna say no to me. Then now he's get that shit away from me. So I swirled and I burnt his back. So he's been literally scarred from that experience. But this waxing he loved because she took really good care of him too.
She knew what she was doing.
She did the red light therapy afterward, the LED, and it didn't grow back stubbly, and actually it's been a couple of weeks and it's still hasn't fully grown back. It looks really good. He did not complain about like any of the itchy stubble. Obviously the hair grows back, you know, and you got to go like regularly for the hair to become a little bit like not as thick. I think that's what she was saying, but he looks good. He would probably do that a couple times a year if I force him to, which I probably will.
Next up, let's talk about the red carpet treatment, the chemical peel light. It was like light.
It was really light, and I'm so happy that I didn't peel, because I remember that week I had a bunch of stuff going on and I didn't want to be a snaky peely mess. Yeah. And so it was super light.
Yeah.
I didn't notice like a drastic difference.
I didn't either. I didn't notice a drastic difference. I mean, she said that to us though. She was like, this is kind of like, this is to give your skin a glow. And she also said because we were nursing, she didn't want to do anything heavy duty. So with all that in mind, you know, there wasn't anything drastic. It was our gateway drug.
Yeah.
I think once I'm done breastfeeding, I think I'm really ready for a hardcore chemical peel. Because
are you?
I think I am. I think I'm ready to peel this off, this layer of hyperpigmentation underneath this makeup.
I don't know if I'm ready for one.
I think
maybe Susan will do that one.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that one. But you know, that's what I took away from that treatment was.
Yeah.
I mean, she said come and get this on a regular basis or something, and you're gonna notice like glowing skin. It's more of like a slowly but surely kind of process.
Right.
And I think that was one of those treatments where we literally just showed it to you, and so you get an idea of it and know that it's out there, but without us going back several times, we kind of can't say much else about it.
Shape House, probably one of the most intense treatments we have ever done.
Besides
it's no joke.
dermaplaning, it was by far, actually for me, I would get dermaplaned 1,000 times before I did that again.
Okay. See, Shape House was intense because they were like, okay, if you want to do this, you really have to commit to the whole 55 minutes of sweating your bootay off.
Completely off.
This, like, it wasn't a sweatsuit that we were wearing, but it was like long sleeve.
It was a sweatsuit.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty intense. It was so intense.
We were wearing a sweatsuit. Let's be clear about that.
And I just remember being in there, and we're like 20 minutes in, and I'm like, oh my God, like
daunting.
This is hot.
Like, you guys, it's so hot. I thought, before we went into that treatment, I was excited about it because I was like, we get to sleep.
I know.
For an hour. I thought that was exactly what I was going to do. I was like, this is going to be the best little nap that we get, because I thought it was going to be like just hot, but not like terrible. It's so hot, you can't sleep. All you can do is think about the fact that you're like hot.
And I mean, like, when I say we sweat in places that you just did not think you could ever sweat, like
my nostrils were like gushing. My nostrils had stuff coming out. It might have been
I feel like
boogers, but I don't think it was. I think I was sweating out my nose.
The only like salvation there was that we got to watch TV, which I feel like was
I didn't even notice the TV. Like, I can't remember what I watched because all I could do was think about the fact that I was so hot.
When we were done with it, I was like, okay. It's the you do it for the after, right?
The after
like
feeling,
exercise.
well, you had a good after feeling. I had an intense headache.
Yeah.
They had told me that was because I was detoxing.
Yeah.
I kind of, think that maybe I had a headache because I was dehydrated. Honestly, I felt so hot that I was really because I was dehydrated. Like I was like gulping. You guys didn't see it right before we did our outro. I was like gulping water, eating all their oranges. They had to bring me more oranges because I was like, give me liquids because I was so hot and thirsty.
Were those not the best oranges you've ever had in your entire life though? Because they were so like crisp and cool, and we felt like we had been like trekking through the Sahara, and then it was like we found this like forbidden fruit.
It was like a mirage.
Yeah, exactly.
And it turned out to be real.
And then we were like, oh God, these oranges are just so good.
I will say, people, love it. Some people love Bikram yoga, and I don't.
Yeah.
So I don't like to sweat. That's what I learned about that. I hate sweating.
I think like knowing now what the whole process is like, I would be way more prepared to do it again. And I don't mind sweating. I feel like I'm just a sweaty person when I exercise, so I'm used to being sweaty, and I did Bikram for years, and I like that feeling of just being so sweaty. So that is something I would do again especially if I had like a really big event that I wanted to.
You want to drop like that water weight.
Yeah, feel like, I don't know, like extra sexy for it. What's crazy is that there's so many people that do it once a week. She said there's girls that go in like almost like every other day to do it.
We're in Los Angeles.
LA. Yeah. So.
Cryofacial.
And I said this in the episode, I love cryotherapy in general. That is something I have done since the first time we did it. I actually did cryotherapy a couple times before we even shot our segment on the SASS about it. So I like it. You know, did we walk away after that episode with like a whole new tight little face? Not necessarily, but like a lot of things, you have to keep going. But cryotherapy is something that, you know, I couldn't do while I was pregnant, and just weaning off of nursing. Now I'm like getting back into all those like really fun things that I want to do again. And that's another reason I haven't been able to do a lot of stuff, is because we've been pregnant, nursing.
We're just not,
yeah.
It's like fun police time when you're,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
breastfeeding.
Can't do as much stuff, which is totally fine. Happy to, you know, just chill and nurse the babes. But I'm in the point now where I'm like weaning. So I'm like seeing like all the fun things that are out there again that I can do. So cryotherapy is absolutely something that I love and will do again, 100%.
Yeah. I hate to be extremely hot. I hate to be extremely cold. So cryotherapy in general just wasn't for me. That said, I liked the cryo facial.
Yeah, you did.
I thought it was fun. Did I see long-term benefits? I don't know, because we didn't go back like Sharzad said, but I would go back. I like the fact that you can just walk in.
Yeah, it just can be like an easy, quick thing. You don't have to take your makeup off. And it's not like a facial, like what you normally think of with a facial, where they do extractions or steam or do masks and moisturizing. This is literally, they put a ton of cold air on your face. And a lot of people were like, just stick your head in the freezer, a little cryo DIY.
It's different though. It's like more intense, you guys. Like,
which you can do if you want to too. You guys can do anything. And again, we're just showing you all the fun, unique beauty treatments that are available. Electro Acupuncture. I've said before, I'll say it again, I've done acupuncture for the last probably 15 years. I'm a big fan. I love that we took it up a notch. I'd never even heard of it. I didn't know you could add electricity to your acupuncture. So I thought it was cool. My neck felt a little bit more relaxed afterwards. And so, you know, I did have like a specific kind of, you know, not injury, but like tightness of my neck. So I liked that. It didn't cure everything right away, but like a lot of these treatments, you have to keep going. But I would totally do that again, especially if I had like an injury or a sore spot or something that needed some extra TLC.
Yeah.
But you did not like the electricity.
I mean, so she said it to us in the beginning of the video. She said it. She wouldn't, if somebody's kind of scared of needles or anything like that, they're not the people that she would normally give this treatment to. So she said off camera, I was the person she would not first give this treatment to, and that's because I am not a fan of acupuncture.
Yeah, right.
Would I get it again? Absolutely not. But I just wouldn't go get acupuncture.
Right, that's not your cup of tea.
I'm not an acupuncture person. And so, did I want electricity with my acupuncture?
No, she didn't. Yeah, I have to say that was. We loved that woman. She just had such good vibes.
She really,
she was just like had like a really great aura about her. But Susan was like not feeling that one, and Yael knew it too.
She totally knew it. She was like, you know,
she's like, this wouldn't be for you. This would be for you. You know, because I was like, crank it up hard. Let's go. Plug me in, boss.
Don't crank it anymore. No cranking whatsoever.
It's funny, I was on like a 9, and Susan had barely gotten like a 1 or something, and I was like, feels good. Back facial. That one's fresh in my mind because we just got it.
Awesome. I think that it is so great. I said it in the video. When I actually was going through breakouts on my back, I could not find a place that would do a back facial on me. Like
Bronze Bunny.
What?
Yeah.
It's so smart. I love their whole concept. It's all the stuff that you can't, besides the sugaring, right, where you can get that at a lot of places. It's, you know, the vajacial where, you know, you guys, come on, let's be real. People get ingrown hairs when they wax and they shave down there. And, you know, they do need to get some facial. They need some treatment down there in that skin area instead of trying to be little surgeons on themselves, right?
Yeah, and then you make it so much worse.
Yep. And then the back facial, I mean, you want your back to look nice.
Yeah, you want a sexy back. Bring in sexy back.
What'd you think?
I really liked it. It was a pampering luxury treatment. You know, I thought the price was actually really great.
I thought it was great too.
I thought Bronze Bunny was just adorable.
I loved Jenny.
Such good vibes. Jenny's so fun. I mean,
so
I
cool.
love that they make it fun, and that, you know, the clothing boutique in the front, and that they offer the fun, like off the beaten path kind of services and treatments. I would absolutely go there again. Just the whole energy of the place was just great. And you know, you never, I mean, for me, like I've been getting beauty treatments and worked in a spa and, you know, been in this biz for a really long time, and that was my first back facial. So I think that's interesting that, you know, not a lot of people get it, and they totally should, because it feels great. And especially if you have something on your back you want to treat, you know, that'd be a great place to go.
And that's our recap.
That's our recap. A little long, but you know, we had a lot of questions to answer, and we hope you guys stuck around and found the answers that maybe some of you were looking for. So, you know, go and vote on the poll whether or not we should change that intro. If you're still here, if you're still watching.
And you know, you guys can always ask us questions on Instagram. You can find us, send us DMs at Sharzad Kiadeh.
Hello.
And at Susan Yara. We're really easy to find.
Yeah, so come hang out with us on our other socials. That's all for today. Keep the comments coming, keep the convos going, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.